We are the keepers of the flame, the sacred order. Let the ceremony begin. And today, faithful acolytes, we take a look at these. And what these are the crack balls from Blazing Foods, all four of the flavors. Okay, so starting out, we have the Hatch Green Chile, and we are going from less hot to more hot, followed by the Ranch Cheddar Habanero. We have the Ghost Pepper Ranch, and we have the Carolina Reaper. Let's take a brief look at the ingredient panel. These are way bigger bags than I was expecting. I thought these were like half the size of this. These are chonky bags, man. They're cool. Do we have anything other? I'm just gonna look here real quick. Do we have anything other than hash chilies? It's not curacao. This one we have, do we have anything other than habaneros? No. So these are basically cheese balls, I guess, just with, this one has ranch as well. I don't think this one does. It's just a cheese ball with, yeah, I don't see anything ranchy stuff there. And this one is, got the ranchy seasoning right there. And let's see, so here we have the Mighty Ghost Pepper with, I don't see the ranchy stuff listed here though, oddly. So it's supposed to be Ghost Pepper Ranch, maybe? I mean, I don't honestly care if ranch is in there, to be honest with you. Not a big deal to me. Okay, and we are ending it out with Carolina Reaper, just cheese balls. So, now, my guess is that these two will probably have some heat to them. These two, I don't expect any, actually. What is kind of interesting to me, too, is that, so this is the only one that actually has cheese in the name, the Ranch Cheddar. This one has ranch as well, but no cheddar. Even though ranch does not appear in the ingredients. So I'm a little mystified here by these, but let's we're gonna crack all these open right now. So let's take a look at these. And you can see through the bag, obviously, but it's not the same. So these, oh, these smell really good. These smell, I'm just gonna have one here. These, oh, whoa, that's weird. These almost taste like they're dusted with oregano or something. Very oddly herbaceous, and I don't see why that would be the case. That's interesting. Huh. Okay. Well, they're more interesting than good, I would say at this point. Certainly, I'm going to eat them all. But all right. So this is the Habanero Ranch. Get a good look at those. Let's try one of these while you guys are staring. Stare in wide wonderment. Oh. 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 Wow. These I might have to toss. I don't like this flavor combination at all. There is a little pinprick of heat there, though, oddly enough. That's interesting. I was really only expecting to maybe go for a burn on one or two of these. So if I do decide to go on a burn for all three of these, what I'm going to do is I'll have at least one palate quencher in there as well. I don't know that any of these are going to be hot enough to really be too challenging. But here we have the ranch ghosties. I don't get ranch at all out of these, happily. oddly enough, there's a little bit more of a spark to these than there is to these, which is kind of interesting, I guess. Okay, and here we have the Carolina Reapers. All right, take a look. Oh, these are a little bit lighter. So these are a little bit lighter in color than some of these other ones. I'm gonna change how I'm doing this actually in a second, but oh, dusty. Yeah, you immediately get the roar, the sweetness of the Carolina Reaper, and the sort of dustiness there. I don't know that I love these. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to, let's do this. Let me pour them all into dishes. See if that is a little easier to compare and contrast. I mean, certainly they're a lot more similar than not, because, like, to me, these look lighter than do these. And we'll get a white point in here in a second. All right, there's the. These look pretty close to these. I don't know. Maybe I'm dreaming. These look just a little bit darker to me. And then finally these, which certainly have a hue all their own. Okay. So let's do this. This might be easier to manage it. Throw this down. Okay. Get us a white point, and okay, here's the hatch green chilies. Here is the habanero. Okay. Here is the ghosties, which I think these are the most orange of all of them. And here's the Reapers. And let's compare the habanero to the Ghost. Yeah, definitely these are a lot more orange. The habanero to the Reaper is actually fairly close. And of course the Ghosties to the Reaper as well. It's kind of interesting that they're just a little bit lighter. I don't know why that'd be the case, but okay, so I think what I'm going to do is here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a process of elimination. I'm just going to whip through one of each of these little cups, and then what we're going to do is we may go for a burn with whatever the hottest one is, just to see. Maybe also the second hottest. We'll see how the cups go. So let's start off with the, where are you? This one here. So this is the hatch chili. I mean, we do have our labeled spice here in the ingredients. Could very well be. It could very well be the, I feel like I'm tasting oregano here. These aren't bad. I'm going to rank these by flavor as well, as I usually do. I've been looking forward to this video for a while, ever since I knew these existed. So I thought it'd be really fun to do all four at the same time. But I also don't want it to be a 4-hour video because, I mean, I don't know what person I would want to watch eat cheese balls for 4 hours, but I know they also have a 6 hottest balls or something like that, some challenge from Scoville. And I have done the I think the Anthony Reaper cheese balls also. You guys can check out the playlist if you're kind of interested in that. So, very okay-ish. These have by far the most distinct and unique flavor of any of these. And I mean, I'll finish these. No problem there. It's a really interesting approach, I think, to this. All right. So that's one down, and I know we won't be doing those anymore. All right. So this is the Branch Cheddar Habanero, and I thought it said Bacon Ranch actually at one time for whatever reason, but I wish it was Bacon Ranch. This one is very forward on the ranch, so palate cleanser first. Okay. All right. Ranch Cheddar Habanero. I don't know if I could do a whole bowl of these.
Oh man, I don't know.
Some of these are very aggressively oniony, and I really don't like the onion flavor. Onion itself, you know, I can't do this. Alright. Okay, that's a bust. I can't do this. These are, oh, man. You know, if you're going to do ranch in a product, I'm sad to say it, but you really have to pick a really good tasting ranch. And I'll be frank, this one is not. It's not a good tasting ranch at all. Oh, super oniony. That's gross. These I will not be finishing, and these are going to get binned at the conclusion of this. So, so far we have this in the lead, this trailing well behind. You know, and I love cheese poofies. That's one of my favorite things. And for me to say I'm not going to finish it is whether you quite understand how much it is or not. It's quite a statement. Okay, there is a little tingle with these though. So heat wise, it's not like they're completely absent. All right, let's try this. The Ghost Pepper Ranch. I don't see ranch in the actual ingredients though. This one has ranch in the thing. Where it actually says ranch seasoning, this one does not. I don't know why. Maybe it's because there's buttermilk, but is there? Yeah, buttermilk's in all of them. So I don't. Maybe this is just mislabeled. I mean, if it is just ghost pepper and cheese, that's fine with me. Okay, let's get that. Oh man. Okay. All right, ghost pepper, supposedly ranch. Let's go. So there's a ranch here. They just didn't list it out like that. This one has a bit of bitterness to it. Also a touch dusty. Hmm. Alright. So I'd say these are both probably a 0 for heat. This one, I'll give it a legit 1. I will give this a legit 1 for heat. Flavor wise, it is better than this, but it'd be hard not to be. I wish the ranch component wasn't there. This one is more tolerable though. So I will say that I don't know. The hatch and this are kind of neck and neck for me. I don't love either flavor per se, but I mean, I can't say that either one of them is bad either. You're just not getting. One of the things I'm finding a little surprising about this actually is that I'm getting the distinct impression, I guess, that these, and it's not just them. They're buying either pre-seasoned cheese balls or possibly unseasoned cheese balls, and then they're just adding the coating to it. But they're adding cheese first and then the peppers second. And I think that's generally how a lot of companies making this kind of thing is doing it. And I guess I always expect it to be integrated into the cheese more, and I wish it was. Because I love cheese poopies. I've had a lot of them. I love Cheeto Puffs. I've certainly had a lot of those. And so I guess my expectation is always that it would follow along those lines, and it has not yet for any of the hot cheese poopies I've had. Okay, so am I going to finish this? Maybe. And I guess that automatically puts it below this because I will be finishing this one. So the hatch chili for sure I'll be finishing. Now let's get on to the Reaper. And the last one. This one, definitely not. This one, I mean, I don't know. It's not super offensive. It's just not all that great either. And I don't like the ranch part of this. I actually think they would have been fine not having ranch. Like if they would have just done the straight cheese balls and not messed with the ranch at all, these two would have been fine. The ranch component is what's fouling these, and it's very unfortunate. All right, so let's get into the Reapers and see how brutal these get. Try really hard not to breathe this dust in. I mean, they're unquestionably hot. Well, hotter than these others. Alright, so these are the ones that really had any heat. So I'm going to do another bowl here. Let's try to go for a quick burn. Right now, I would give it probably between a 1 and a 2. Trying to dance around this powder is way more difficult than any other part of this. Alright, it's not getting any hotter. I put it between probably maybe slightly above a 1. Not much more than that though. These are more challenging and trying not to breathe this in. Okay, well. Alright, so heat-wise, these two don't really have any. So it's between these two. Reaper is the hottest one. Slightly over. Whoa. Hey now. Ghost is second with a legit 1, but not more than that. I thought the Reapers were going to build a little more than they did, surprisingly. Okay. Now on to the flavor, and here's kind of where it gets a little bit dicey. So this is dead last. This is not good. This is second to dead last. Not what I would consider good either. But now the number 1 slot between these two, the Reaper and the Hatch. I'm going to have another Hatch. Okay. I remember now. Alright. So the Reaper, in addition to being the hottest, is also the best flavored. So, here's my recommendations. If you really like onion dip and oniony stuff, then you can discard my comments on these two. For me, the ranch wrecks completely this habanero. This is not worth getting, in my view. No real heat to speak of. And the flavor, well, you can see just how far I got into the flavor, which is hardly at all. All right, next is, all these are below the label. This one is just barely, this is no good for me anyway. So for this one, for the ghost pepper, you could buy this because this is a legit one as far as heat goes, and the heat is not bad. The ranch is played down a lot. Still, I think ultimately there probably will be too much for me, because I really don't like the ranch that they're using here. So this one I might finish, I might not. This one I will be bidding right at the conclusion of this. This one, I don't know. I would say you could get it for heat. Like if you're planning on doing cheese balls challenges or something, this is probably a pretty decent starting point. The Hatch chili, I think, is one you could get if you want just a really unique spin on it. But to me, it reminds me a lot of like Italian seasonings. So I don't know if there's oregano or something like that in there. But the Hatch chili, I think, is an interesting approach. I don't get a lot of Hatch chili out of it. I get the other sort of spices there. But this is not bad. This is not a bad combination. I mean, you could, I think if you want something different, change your pace. There's no heat to this one at all, though. So if you're buying it for heat, forget it. And at the number 1 slot, in both terms of both heat, where it kind of falls between a 1 and a 2, closer to a 1 though, I would say. Flavor-wise, this is, I think, probably the closest to a cheese ball any of these actually get. This one is probably the furthest from it. And these two just, there's too much ranch. It moves too far away, and it's a bad ranch on top of it. So for me, these are the two that I would recommend flavor-wise. This one and this one are the only two I would recommend heat-wise. So the habanero, just to me, is not a good product. I don't ever want to have that again. That just is, it couldn't have missed any more with me. So, yeah, surprisingly, I was thinking that the Reaper would definitely be the hottest, but I wasn't sure it was going to also be the best tasting. So, kind of a cool little surprise there. I never really know. Like I said, cheese balls are one of my favorites. I was looking forward to this for a super, super long time. And I gotta say, I kind of wind myself up a little bit for these cheese balls because I love cheese balls so much, and I love the cheese poofies. I love Cheetos, and I wind myself up for these, and I just it seems like I invariably do it too much, and I just wind up getting disappointed because the reality doesn't match, the whatever I got going on in my head. And I mean, that's a me thing. It's not, the fault of any of these other people. It's just, that's just what the hell I do, I guess. So, but yeah, it was still fun to kind of go through all these. I can't say I really like any of them. I probably don't think I'll get them ever again, actually, either. But I am planning on enjoying these two, what's left of these two, and maybe at least part of this one. So it's not like these are unenjoyable entirely or anything like that. They're just not really what I had in mind. Although, the more I got into the Reapers, the more I was liking these. So who knows, I might actually wind up enjoying that one. Just with the Reapers, you really have to, I feel like, be so very careful to avoid that dust. And that dust is a killer if you happen to breathe it in. So that I guess is the one major caveat I guess I have for these. So, but anyway, there it is. The Blazing Foods Crack Balls, all 4 flavors. Now go forth in peace to serve the flame.